Hey guys, welcome back to AlgoYogi. We are now doing graph series. Our next problem in the list is number of islands, which is a really popular problem of graph on LeetCode. Let's go over this. Given an m cross n 2D binary grid, which represents a map of 1 land and 0 water, return the number of islands. What is an island? An island is surrounded by water and is formed by connecting adjacent islands horizontally or vertically. There is no diagonal connection. There is nothing that connects the lands diagonally. It's just horizontally or vertically. So left, right, top, bottom. Okay, now so we'll be given this grid and we need to tell the number of islands. 1 represents land, 0 represents water. It's a super popular problem. There are like 24k likes, which is like crazy for LeetCode. So okay, let's go over this example. So I have drawn this grid. It has zeros and ones. So one means land and 0 means water. An island is basically a group of lands together horizontally or vertically. So what does that mean? So in short, we are trying to find these group of lands, and whatever number of group exist on this piece of this grid, that's the number that we return. So as you can see right here, so we have m number of rows and n number of columns. Now if you see, how many groups do we actually see? So I see this one group right here. Then I see another group right here, which is a single piece of land surrounded by water is also an island, and then this another group of land. So the answer here would be 3. So how do we go about finding it? So first thing first, we're gonna basically iterate over our grid that we will do using two for loops, so I and j. So but the thing is, whenever we come across a land, we want to also visit its neighboring lands. So for example, I just dropped my pen, sorry. Yeah, so let's say I start visiting my grid. So I see a 1. Whenever I see a 1, if I see a 0, that means water, I'm going to ignore that. But whenever I see a 1, so right here, if I'm seeing this one, that means now I need to cover basically the neighboring land. So I try to go up. Only we can try to access top, bottom, left, right, because we were told that these land have to be connected either horizontally or vertically, right? So I try to see top. It's out of bound. I'm going to return back. This is also out of bound. Then I try to call here. So what I'll do is I'll get this piece of land. So I'm going to start exploring this one. So the reason I'm doing it, I'm calling a DFS function, which is basically a recursive function to basically cover all these neighboring lands. So I'm right here. Then I check, this is going to return basically nothing because it's 0. Then it's going to ask the bottom. Then it's going to cover this one. The same thing. These are zeros, so it's, and diagonally we don't visit, so zeros will be returning back. And then I'm trying to visit all the neighboring these cells, and I will have a visit set. In the visit set, I can keep adding all these visited nodes. Okay, so I will add this one. So this 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 0, 1, 2, and 3. I can store these. So I visited 0, 0. I already visited 1, 0, 1, 0. Then I, not 1, 0, 0, 1, sorry. Yeah, I visited 0 and 1. Then I already visited this one right here, this one right here, so which is 1 and sorry, again 1 and 1. Yeah, 1 and 1. Then I'm going to visit now this one. I'm going to visit this one, so which is 1 and 0. All right, so I've already visited these 4 cells, so I know this is also going to make call top and bottom, and then we also gonna, since this one is already calling a visited set, then we will have a condition that if it is calling already visited set, then we gonna basically return 0 from that, or maybe don't return anything. Like, I think in this case we are not returning anything, we're just trying to mark all the land neighboring to a land that we just came across. So these are all visited. Then we're gonna go over these. So these are just 0, 0, 0, 0. This is 0, 0. Then I'm gonna start exploring this one. Right now, remember, my island count is 1. Island count is 1 because I came across that one, and then I have already visited all its surrounded land. Now I see another one, then I'm going to increment my island count. I try to explore all around it, but then there is nothing, there is no land present, neighboring land to this one. So I'm going to start exploring these zeros. Okay, so, and then I come across another one, then I will be checking its neighboring one. It calls out of bounds. These are also out of bounds. These are all zeros on surrounding. Then this count will be one more. So I will return my answer 3. Super simple problem. Just we're gonna use 2 for loops to iterate our grid. Come across a land, then cover all its surrounded land. So sorry, I forgot to update the visit set, but like, let's write down the actual solution right away. It's going to be super simple. All right. As I said, first thing first, let's calculate the rows and columns. So I'm going to call rows and calls. So it's going to be length grid is the number of rows, and then length grid 0 is the number of columns. Now we're going to have a visit set. Let's call it just a simple set. Let's write down our iterating function, not function, 2 for loops. So for I in range rows, for j in range columns. If, and finally, one more thing, num islands, that's going to be our answer. Initially 0, so if I see a 1, that means this is an island. Put it like island, but like we're gonna explore this island, also visit its surrounded entire region of that island. So if grid at I and j, that value is equals to 1, that's how it's given. It's given in the form of a string. Okay, if that's the case, then I will increment my num island, and then also call a DFS function on I and j, so that it can just mark all the surrounded land that it has attached to itself, so as visited. Otherwise, finally we return number of islands. So main thing, let's write down our DFS, which takes I and j, or I could call it row and column, right? So if this row and column that I'm currently visiting, it could be out of bound. When? Because I will be calling this function recursively inside it. So I'm going to have condition if r is lesser than 0, or c is lesser than 0, or r is greater than equals to rows, or c is greater than equals to columns, or this r and c in visit set that I have already visited this, or grid's value at r and c is 0. Then also I basically ignore that because I don't care about it. If this is the case, then I just return. We are not returning any value here, so I just return, right? If this is in visit set or it's a 0 or things are out of bounds, just return. Otherwise, we're gonna mark that land visited. So visit dot add, what do we add? A row and column. And what do? We want to explore. If I'm going down, that means it's a 1. It's a 1. That grid's value is 1. I just had a catch because it's going to be string 0, not just 0. So it's going to be 1 and 1. It means that's land. We're going to repeat the same process, explore its surrounded land. So that's going to be, I've already copied this. So that's going to be, let's increment the row by 1. That's done. Let's increment the column by 1. Because we can only explore vertically and horizontally. That will be column -1 and column row -1. Okay, so we have changed row twice, and it's better if we copy and paste it right here. So we're modifying row plus minus column rows both. That is it, guys. I think that should be all. Let's zoom out, and that should be all. And I'm gonna have just create a little bit of gap. So this is the entire code, and I think it should be passing all our example test. Oh, of course, come on, visit, yeah. And we also want to avoid just right here that this I and j, because I might have already visited it, so I don't want to explore this again. So so this and this is not in my visit, not visited, visit. We just corrected our mistake. So let's run this, and voila, let's try to submit our answer. Awesome. So this is a really popular problem. I guess this 27% is also a pretty good solution. Okay, so let's write down the time complexity and space complexity. Okay, yeah, this thing is easy to basically miss sometimes if you're not thinking. You might be just thinking that the DFS will cover everything, but you don't want to visit those ones which you have already covered using the DFS. So you don't want to go in again and count that one again, otherwise it will return the total number of ones you have seen. Okay, finally, our final thing, our ritual, time complexity is going to be big of n cross m. People usually write it m cross n. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying why I have a habit of writing n into m rather than m into n. Space complexity is going to be also big of m cross n. It's the same thing. That's because we have a visit set. We're gonna add let's say if everything was entire thing was land, then it would be whole piece of island, and I'll be storing it in my visit. Alright, so let's go back to our AlgoYogi and then mark this problem. So see you guys later in the next problem. Yeah, all this problem, all of them are just based on the same concept of visiting this grid and then counting those number of piece of land or whatever. We'll see. I haven't solved those problems. We'll come across those.